What's cracking, guys? Omar Isaf here, back with another video, back finally in Toronto, and it feels good to be back home. I recently was in California. I had the opportunity to train with Eric Helms, Silencio Mikel, and Alan Thrall. And I also went down to Los Angeles, where I was able to get some sessions in at Barbell Brigade and a bodybuilding gym, which was closer to where I was staying. And I had a few observations. You see, let me tell you a story. Let me spin you a yarn right here. I was doing chest. Of course I was doing chest in a bodybuilding gym. I asked for a spot. I was doing escalating sets. So I was doing sets of 5. So I did 275, 285, 295, 305, and actually felt good, so I went for 315 because don't you know, Severin, as I always say, the plates in Fortis are friggin' heavy. So whenever you go to another gym, they feel so light that things felt great. But I asked for a spot, and the spot from the guy that I got was, a dude was a bodybuilder. And so I said, hey man, I'm going for 5 reps, 315, I want to lift off, just be there, I'll be completely fine, but should something go wrong, I just want you there. He's like, cool, cool, cool. So I'm doing my reps. I do rep 1, 2, 3, 4, it's good. Then I do my 5th rep, and it feels good, and then I rack it. I realistically could have done 1 more rep. And as I was doing my 4th rep, he's like, come on, 3 more, right? And then as I did my 5th rep, he's like, 2 more. Because in his mind, it's like, you gotta go to failure. Like, what are you doing? And then afterwards, I said, hey, thanks, man, I appreciate the spot. He said, you could have done at least 1 more rep, more like 2 reps, right? And I said, no, I hear you, but that's not what the goal is. And I had an epiphany, and the epiphany was basically, depending upon what side of the coin you're on, you get a different perspective on things, and that relates to your goal. To a powerlifter, a bodybuilder might be doing, too many different movements. They might be doing too many different variations. That they should focus maybe a little bit more on specificity, right? Or the accusation that a powerlifter would give a bodybuilder would be that bodybuilders are weak in their own way of assessing strength, right? They're not living up to their potential, and that makes sense. For a bodybuilder, they might look at the way a powerlifter trains, and they would say, you don't train intensely enough. Yeah, you're lifting a lot of weight, but you're not going to failure. You're not eliciting that muscle growth response. And in ways, those are semi-fair assessments, but it depends upon what your goal is. And that was my observation being in a bodybuilding gym where there was so many machines. There's 2 bench presses, there was 1 squat rack, they had a few squat racks outside, but they probably had 30 different machines. And from my perspective, it depends upon what someone's goal is. There is a time and place for variation. So there's a time and place to do all those machines to go to failure, but it depends upon what your goal is. And I think when people are on YouTube, they can sometimes misunderstand that a little bit. When I'm peaking for strength, like when I squatted 495, if you're here with Severin while I was doing my workouts, they're pretty damn boring workouts. Were they the best when it comes to hypertrophy? No. Were they good? Yeah, definitely. But they weren't maximizing hypertrophy. And that's why recently, my overall approach is a little bit more similar to something known as block periodization, where you're training a different quality every single phase. So you have a hypertrophy block, you have a strength block. So you noticed recently I was on that strength block where I got a lot stronger on the bench press. I got stronger when it came to the squat. But then I took a look at myself. I took a hard look in the mirror and I thought, you know what? Eventually I want to really fit into XL shirts. Let me focus on some bicep curls, and that's block periodization. But I think people get too caught up in their identity, meaning that bodybuilder, if they dialed it back a little bit on their big compound movements, if that dude who was ginormous, if he took it a few reps short of failure on his big compound movements, he'd get stronger over time. And instead of repping 315, for 10 repetitions, he'd be able to rep a year from now 365 for 10. And that's why I think some bodybuilders appear weak. They are constantly pushing their bodies to such an extent that they're not able to recover fast enough. They're not training that strength quality. So to a powerlifter, they appear weak, but really they're training what moves them more towards hypertrophy, but they can be a little bit smarter with their choices. Same idea when it comes to powerlifters, and that's why power building has become more popular recently. But even power building, you don't necessarily have to train all qualities at the same time. For a powerlifter that's off season, maybe you train much more with a hypertrophy oriented mind. meaning that if we look at the correlations between the squat of a lot of the champions and the bench press, there's a pretty high correlation with their muscle mass. So if you're just doing a squat specific program, I compare my quadriceps to Eric Helms, who did a hell of a lot of leg extensions amongst other things, other qualities, and his legs, simply put, look a lot better than mine. My lower body, I focus more on specificity. So I squat a lot and I do a lot of deadlifts. I don't do a lot of variations. I don't do a lot of high repetition work. My upper body, on the other hand, the ass chest, I've done the incline bench, I've done the floor press, I've done the close grip press, I did the spoto press, I do dips, I do the overhead press, I do the behind the neck press. I do a lot of different variations, a lot of different rep ranges, and it reflects that in my body. So I don't think you need to be in only one camp. I think you can pick and choose, but I think you need to know what your goal is, and I think you need to know how to approach it best. And that's why I've been really happy. I actually will be providing, probably in about, if it's early August or it's late July, I should say, in about 3 weeks' time, I'll be providing another physique update, because I'm actually quite happy with the way things are going, and I think how I'm training is definitely working. And that's one of my realizations. Like I said before, you can still train that strength quality to a certain amount, which I did, and it felt fantastic. But now it's time for a little bit of hypertrophy. I gotta win all them damn trophies. So don't get confused when you see someone training different qualities, or me talking about these things and someone saying, what the hell, like, wait, I thought you were doing powerlifting, I thought you were doing this. If you're like me, an iron enthusiast, you kind of want it all. You want the whole damn thing. So you have to be intelligent with your approach. Here's something I thought I'd share from my time in Los Angeles, training in that bodybuilding gym where the music was, quite honestly, very loud. There's a lot of muscular bodies. There's a lot of people repping 2 plates and change, but you need to be methodical with your approach. Anyways, I gotta get out of here. What do you guys want to see next? I'm going to be doing some training vlogs. I can't wait. I can't make the announcement. Severin, you know what it is. But basically, it's going to be time to get yucky, to get shredded when this happens. Where are we right now, Severin?
Donutville.
Donutville. We're in a certain facility. And so, you know, maybe facilities get lonely. Maybe they want friends. Is all I'll say. So there's a lot of things going on. I can't wait to announce it. Everyone's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't know.
I am scared now, or for your psyche. But stay tuned. Anyways, thank you so much for watching the video. Thought I'd make a quick update. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the damn video. And I'll see all you guys, my rascals, in that next one. Peace.
Eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables, eat your fucking vegetables.